Welcome to Better Investing's online stock tools suite. In this video, we'll explore the individual screening criteria available in the Plus version of the Stock Ideas page, designed to give you full control over your stock search and help you discover the best investment opportunities tailored to your needs. So when you look at the tool in SSG Plus, you'll notice a wide range of individual screening criteria on the left-hand side. These options allow you to refine your search and zero in on stocks that meet your specific requirements. So let's take a closer look at these individual criteria that are available. First, we have sales and earnings growth, two fundamental metrics for assessing a company's performance over time. You can set minimum thresholds for both by clicking on the drop-down and choosing one of the selections. And I can do that for this second selection. It doesn't have to be the same, it can be different. As you set the individual criteria, realize you can use just one criteria out of the list. You can use two. You can use them all if you want and combine them in the same query. The third one showing is the 5-year earnings per share R-squared value. And that measures how closely the changes in earnings per share follow a linear trend. A higher R-squared value, closer to 1, indicates that the company's earnings per share has shown a consistent and predictable growth pattern over this period. So we could get very close and say we want something with this greater than 0.9. That's very strict. While a lower value suggests more variability or deviation from the trend. For this particular criteria, we can mouse over and see what that exactly means. And it says EPS consistency over the last 5 data points, where 1 indicates a perfect fit with a straight line. All right, we've set it pretty strict here. You can also filter by size and sector. For example, to look for just small size companies based on Better Investing size categories, I can click on the button with the label of small. The button will turn green, indicating it is the selected criteria. You can also select one specific sector, not multiple, that you might want to look at and from the sector drop-down list. If you're seeking income, the dividend yield criterion lets you focus on companies that pay out dividends. You can set a minimum yield percentage to find stocks that provide a steady stream of income. So let's say just something greater than 0.5%. You might want to combine that with a growth criteria up top, as I've done here, which might be good for those looking to balance growth and income in their portfolios. Next, we have 2 trend indicators and their management indicators. Pre-tax profit trend and return on equity trend. These 2 criteria have a button type of selector again. In general, we like to see upward trends in both pre-tax profit and return on equity, so selecting up is the strictest choice for both. Many times, however, I'll select up and even together to allow more companies to be returned in the results. And so that's right, you can select multiple buttons for these criteria, as well as you can do the same in the size criteria. And moving down to the next 3, we have the Morningstar growth grade, Morningstar profitability grade, and Morningstar financial health grade. These metrics allow you to screen for companies with strong financials and growth or profitability based on trusted Morningstar algorithms. Morningstar grades are rankings using the letters A through D and F, where A is the top or best 10% of the ranking in a sector, and F is the bottom 10% of the ranking. We actually don't see a lot of Fs in our data set. And I love to use financial health grade of B or greater, but you can use them all. I will say that these sales and earnings growth criteria do a pretty good job and kind of the same thing as the Morningstar growth grade though. So I rarely use the Morningstar growth grade. The PE to historical earnings per share growth ratio is a valuation metric that compares a company's price to earnings, or PE ratio, to its historical earnings growth rate. A lower PE relative to historical EPS growth may indicate that the stock is undervalued, while a higher PE to earnings per share growth rate ratio could suggest that the stock is overvalued relative to its past performance. So in this screen, I'm not particularly looking for a valuation metric. I'm just looking for something that is quality, small, in healthcare, and that I might want to put on my watch list. And don't forget, you can use any combination of individual criteria in your screen. However, you cannot combine predefined screen and individual criteria. After choosing your criteria, you select the search button at the bottom. Look, no companies are found, so I'm going to make it a little less strict and say doesn't need to pay a dividend. And I'm going to loosen the financial health grade. And I'm going to say loosen up the earnings per share R squared grade, and then I'll start to get some companies. So I've created initially a very strict screen, and I'm going to loosen that up a little bit. And there's the results in the results area. If you want to reset the criteria to their original unselected state, click on the Reset Criteria button here, and you'll see that everything up in the individual criteria section on the left goes back to its original state. With over a dozen criteria available, the Plus version of the Stock Ideas and Screening page gives you the tools to tailor your search to exactly what you're looking for, whether that's growth, value, financial health, or dividend income. You have the flexibility to create custom screens that suit your investment style, ensuring you'll find stocks that align with your goals. Start using the individual screening criteria today to discover new stock ideas and take control of your portfolio with Better Investing's online stock tools suite.